taping. Hi guys, it's Stacy. This is going to be your Saturday morning yoga class. It'll be day 98 tomorrow when this is going live for you guys. 98 days. I know things are opening up, but you know, in my family, we're being very careful with my parents. So I keep telling the kids, even though things are opening, it doesn't mean we are. So the count is still on for the Davis family. Today we're going to do some hamstring openers and some things to lengthen all the muscles in the back of your knees, your ligaments and your joints, and everything that might get super tight and stiff from either doing lots of specific cardio like walking or running, or from doing no cardio and sitting around and binging on Netflix or Hulu. So we're going to focus on the back of the legs today. We're going to be kind of quick in and out, but to the point, and hopefully it feels good and it's what you need, right? Even if you don't know it's what you need, hopefully it's what you need. So grab your mat, grab a blanket to sit up on, and start by lying on your back in the usual beginning yoga class pose for me. That was awkward. Okay, so lie on your back, get comfy, palms at your arms at your side, palms up. Close your eyes and let your face, let your muscles, let everything start to melt down towards your mat, like you're lying on the beach and the sun is straight up above you and it's so warm and cozy and you just feel like you're turning to liquid. That's what I want you to do right now, okay? So lie down and get comfy. I walked the dog this morning and we went we have all different routes now all over town, right? So today I wanted to do a longer one with her, and we did about 3.5 miles this morning, and usually we'll go again before dinner time and do like another mile or mile and a half. But we went up, if you're familiar with Cedar Grove, we went all around Pompton, down towards the pool, up Bowden, and you don't realize it when you're driving it, but Bowden is a really slow, long, awful hill. And I had stuck a bottle of water in my pocket so that I had water, and then the dog was kind of panting, so I gave her the water and then realized I should have drank first and then given it to her. And that's the only way that we can share water, is if I drink it first and then she finishes it, because once she has it, I don't want it. So it was a long walk this morning, but the point of my telling you this is that I know my hamstrings are tight, the backs of my knees are feeling kind of tight, and my calves are feeling kind of tight. And I've been saying this for years. As much as I love yoga, and I think yoga is so beneficial for so many different parts of your life, you need cardio for your heart, right? Your heart muscle is the most important muscle in your body, and you need cardio. You need to work your heart. You need to, what's the word? Stretch, but that's not the word. You need to like constantly be setting new goals for your beats per minute, for you know, what kind of activity you can take, how many hills you can go up in one day, how steep a hill, or if you're a runner, how many miles you can run in one day. You just need, and it doesn't even have to be things like miles. You just need to be constantly setting goals and exercising your heart muscle so that it gets stronger and stronger and stronger, and you get stronger in the process. But you know, if your heart doesn't work, then you're kind of in trouble. So you need your cardio, but that on the back end of cardio, in my opinion, is where yoga comes in, because you get your cardio in like I did this morning, and then you feel sore and stiff, and then you do a little bit of yoga to lengthen and soften and make everything a little more, you know, a little more pliable, right? So hopefully, my hope is that you're doing these classes with me, but you're also getting in some kind of good cardio in the process so that you're exercising your heart muscle at the same time. right? My brother and I were talking way back in March when this all first started. And we were both saying that this is an amazing opportunity to kind of come out of this like a butterfly, right? To not just sit around and snack or binge watch or gain the COVID-15. I've been reading about that. That's apparently a real thing, the COVID-15. But it's a real opportunity to really focus on committing to a certain exercise regimen. You know, like I walked every day, but I would walk 2 miles a day. And now I have more time, so now I'm doing more like 4 miles a day or 5 miles a day. And I'm a little bit worried about what's going to happen when I don't have the time to do that anymore, because it feels so good, but real life is going to get in the way again eventually. So it's been an interesting time for exercise, but like I said, I think it's so important to get your cardio in for your heart and then follow up with yoga to lengthen and soften and just make things feel good again. So maybe you did some cardio this morning, maybe you did something last night or yesterday afternoon, but now comes the softening part, okay? So we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna focus on the back of the hips and the hamstrings. We're just gonna do a couple simple things for the back of the knees and the back of the calves. Mostly standing stuff, nothing that we probably haven't done before, but just things that I think will feel really good and I hope feel really good. And that's it. So you're lying on your back. Pull your knees in, arms are out in the big T, palms up, pull the knees in, drop them over to your left, coming into a twist. So the knees are gonna go to the left. You're gonna focus on keeping the right arm lengthened out to your side with the whole back of the arm flat on the ground. So when the legs drop, that arm kind of wants to like bounce up a little bit. It's okay, let it do that. But then take a nice big breath in, and on your exhale, allow that arm to start to soften back, making contact with the ground and really just grounding down. Let the legs go, let the legs relax. Find your breath here. Inhaling and exhaling, drawing the breath all the way down into the low belly. Remembering that in yoga, we breathe in and out through our nose. So you inhale your breath into your low belly. You hold it there for a couple counts, and then you slowly exhale. You want to try to eventually, as you get more comfortable with breathing that way, you want to try to make your exhale a little longer than your inhale. So it's a little game you have to play with yourself. And not push it to the point where you're uncomfortable, but push it to the point where you're a tiny bit uncomfortable, but you're still fine. You know, like you want to play with the edge a little bit there. Bring your knees up to center. Come on into a happy baby. So reach for the outer edges of your feet or your big toes, coming into a yogi toe lock with your pointer finger and your middle finger wrapping around your big toes. And remember, you want to be able to bend your elbows out to the side, right? So you don't want locked elbows because that in turn will tighten your shoulders. Find a little movement here on your low back. Either go left to right or front to back. And then bring the arms out, palms up. Drop your knees over to your right, coming into a twist. Let the legs go. Let the legs make contact with the ground. And then focus on the length of the left arm, really snuggling down into the ground. Might not happen right away, but you want to try to get it to happen after the legs are settled, you know, so that it's a full twist. So I don't know about other towns, but Cedar Grove has started doing curbside pickup for the library, which I'm really excited about because I love to read. And I don't love reading books online. I have a Kindle, I have an iPad, I have my iPhone. I don't love reading books online. I'd rather hold a book, and I was burning through them. I thought I was such a smarty pants. The Friday that the kids got out of school in March, before I picked up Cam, I went to the library and I got like 4 really big fat books, like beach books, like summer reads. And I just thought, who's smarter than me? I didn't worry about Clorox wipes. I didn't worry about chicken breast. I just got some books and thought, for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, this will be fine. Here we are 97 days later, and I just returned those books on the cart outside the library and ordered 4 more, and Alex got a John Grisham. And I'm pretty happy that now I have fresh reading material to get me through the next however many days. All right, bring your legs up to center. Happy baby. So either go wide with one hand on each knee or do your yogi toe lock and then find your movement. Front to back or left to right. Right? You always want to find your movement in the pose. It's sort of like always moving on your breath, even if it doesn't seem like that's what you're doing. But you always want to find your movement. It just feels better, and I don't know, I don't like just shooting up into a pose and being stuck there. I kind of like the idea of moving on the pose all the time. So, all right, feet to the ground, roll over to your right hand side, come on up onto hands and knees with me. I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, Father's Day, right? Sunday? Father's Day, I found this recipe for a strawberry pineapple cake that's low fat, and it has crushed pineapple in the cake and in the frosting, which is Cool Whip and vanilla pudding. But it sounds super, super, super yummy and super moist. So I'm pretty excited to do that. I'm not like a baker who's not afraid to use box mixes. I'm all for box mixes. So I guess that doesn't even make me a baker. I don't know. I've read some ways to jazz them up though. I guess on this one you add milk and an extra egg, and instead of oil you add the crushed pineapple, but I don't know. It's supposed to be a jazzed up box mix, so I'll let you know next week if my dad and my husband liked it. Okay, spread your fingers nice and wide. Knees are under your hips. We're just going to start to cat and cow, so moving through the pose on our breath. So inhale, drop your head, press your spine up. Exhale, arch your back, and look up. And then just keep on moving like that. Sometimes this is such a simple little yoga pose, and it just sometimes feels so satisfying to me. Right? Sometimes it's fun to be big and fancy with your poses, but sometimes it's the little tiny ones that really win me over. Something as simple as this, I do almost every single day. And I think it's poses like this that really help you to get to know your body better. The more, I'm reading more and more things lately that are talking about the benefits of yoga, and the number one thing is the way that it puts you in tune with your body, you know, with what feels good, what doesn't feel good, what's tight, what's not tight. Maybe if something's wrong and you need to pay attention to that area, you just get to know yourself better, I think, through yoga than almost anything else. And this little simple pose, cat and cow, I feel like is such a good one for that. Okay, do one or two more. Now we're going to come into a tabletop position, and we're going to stretch back into downward facing dog. So hips are going to go high. Drop your heels down towards the floor. Okay, they may not touch, or they may very easily touch depending on the tightness in your hamstrings. Mine usually can go all the way down, even though my hamstrings are tight. I think it's just from years of practice, but sometimes they don't. Inhale forward into a plank. Engage your core. Now from here, we're just going to drop the hips down and come into a nice high cobra, letting our shoulders sink, right? We don't want them way up here. We want them down low. We're unclenching our butt. And we're going to press back into a wide knee child's pose. So big toes together, knees out to the side, forehead and chin down to the mat, arms are out long in front of you. Okay, come on up. Downward facing dog again. Drop the heels again. You're going to walk your hands back to meet your feet, coming into a pike at the back end of your mat. Forward bend here. Cross your arms at your elbows. Let your head be super heavy. Press out through the back of your knees here. So if your knees tend to bend when you're in a forward bend, in an effort to try to let you get your hands to the floor, don't worry about that. Don't worry about your hands touching the floor right now. You're crossing at the elbows and you're pressing out through the backs of your knees to really get a deep stretch that goes from the backs of the knees all the way down to the Achilles as well as up to the back of the hip. Now, hands to the floor, walk out, coming into your downward facing dog. Drop your head. Now from here, we're going to do a quick hip stretch. I'm going to move up a little bit on my mat. We're going to lift, let's do the left leg high and out to the side. And then we're going to bring it down. And we're going to do the same thing with the right leg. You want to try to get your kneecap to face the ceiling. That's the goal of that pose. It opens the front of your hips and it just lengthens your leg. Walk your hands up to meet your feet. Maybe come onto fingertips if you want to play a little bit with shoulder opening. And then again, cross your arms at the elbows. Release your hands. Let's come up into 3 flat backs. Inhale up. Exhale and fold. Inhale up. Exhale and fold. When you're in your flat back, arch your back a little. Again, inhale up. Exhale and fold. Right foot back. Long lunge. Hands to the inside of the front foot. So we're going to bring the back knee down onto the ground. And we're just going to sit back enough that we can wiggle our front foot forward. And then our hands still on the inside of the front foot are going to walk up a little as we shift all of our weight into that front knee. So we're getting a stretch in the back hip, the back quad, and then underneath the front leg in the hamstring area. One more big breath in. Exhale. We're going to shift our weight back a little. Flex the front foot. So we're pressing out through the 4 corners of the feet. We've talked about that quite a bit. Big toe, pinky toe, inner heel, outer heel. Toes are pulling back towards us. We're pressing the back of our knee towards the mat. And then we're going to come back onto hands and knees and go back into our cat and cow. And just notice how that front hip feels. It should feel a little looser, and you should be able to feel like there's more space now in the left hip versus the right. Cat and cow a little. One more. Tabletop position, back into downward facing dog. So we're going to do the hip opener again, scorpion. We're going to start by lifting the left leg. Remember, you want your kneecap to try to face the ceiling. So left leg up, kick the foot over. If you look over your right shoulder, You should be able to wave your left foot at yourself. Bring it back. Opposite leg. Look over your shoulder, see if you can see your foot, wave it. Bring it back. Now let's inhale forward into a plank. Hips to the floor, high cobra. Nice. And then back into a wide knee child's pose. All right, come on up into dog. We are going to walk the feet all the way forward to meet the hands, coming into a standing forward bend at the front of the mat. Cross your arms at the elbows, hang. Remember, you're pressing out through the backs of your knees here to lengthen the hamstrings. Release the hands to the floor. Let's come on up into 3 flat backs. So inhale up. Exhale and fold. Inhale up. Exhale and release. One more. Inhale up. Hands to the floor. Left foot back. Long lunge with the back knee down on the ground. And then you can wiggle the right foot up a little. My mat is buckling. Hands are on the inside of the front foot. You're going to shift your weight forward. So you get a stretch in the front of the left quad and hip right now, but you're also getting a big opening in the right hip. Find your breath here. Now we're going to sit back. We're going to straighten that front leg. We're going to press out through the 4 corners of our feet, our foot. Back of the knee is going towards the ground. Toes are pulling back towards me. And then we're going to come up, go back into our cat and cow, and start to move on our breath again. Inhaling up, exhaling and releasing. Simple yet effective. Okay, so from here, you're going to grab your blanket or your towel and you're going to sit on it and then slide forward so you're almost falling off. Okay? And we are going to come into a wide-legged stance, wide-legged seated stance, right? We decided about half an hour ago to go to the beach after this. It's going to be like 2 o'clock, but the sun stays out until 8:30, right? So I'm wearing my bathing suit under this, which is why I'm kind of pulling on myself a little bit weird. I apologize. I was trying to multitask. Okay. Neck rolls. So you're sliding off the blanket, right? Sitting up straight and tall. So let's bring our right ear to our right shoulder. But then remember what I've said to you in the past. Don't just do this. Move it around a little until you find just the right position to release the knot. Like oh, right here for me. Feels good and awful at the same time, so it must be the right spot. And then I'm going to back roll and do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to just move around very conscientiously and slowly until I find just the right release right here. And I can feel it all down the side. And then I'm going to go back again, right ear to right shoulder. And the same thing on the other side. Are you guys dying to go get a massage? I am dying for a massage. I have a gift card in the little cubby in the front of my car, so I see it all the time. I just love being manhandled like that, like, excuse me, like a good deep Swedish massage. That's just my favorite thing. And I am just dying. I'm dying to go. So, what I want to do now is just come to the middle, arms up. On your exhale, start to fold forward and come on down to where you're comfortable. I just can't see enjoying a massage in a mask though. I will wear the mask as long as we need to protect people like my parents and myself. My parents, like that age group though mostly, but I hate it. It gives me real anxiety. After about 15 minutes in any store, I start to have anxiety build up and I just feel like I'm overheating and I'm just getting really like itchy in my own body, and I just have to get out of the store and pull the mask off. I'm the person who pulls the mask off right before they're out of the store. I don't even wait until I'm in the parking lot. I do it right before I hit the doors. Come on up. So we're going to stay in this position because we're focusing on opening the backs of our legs. So if we're pulling our toes back and we're pressing out through the four corners of our feet and we're pressing the backs of our knees down into the ground, we're lengthening out from our hip through the heel. And that's what we want. We want that lengthening. So from here, we're going to come into a simple twist. Arms are going to come up. You're going to twist a little. The left hand, the right hand is going to go to the outside of the left knee. The left fingertips, you're going to make a cupcake hand, like you're protecting a cupcake. This is going to go onto the ground behind you so that you can really dig into the mat and still turn that back shoulder. So press into the outside of the left knee, press into the ground behind you, and then rotate from the hips up through the crown of your head like a little tornado. Remember to keep pressing out through the four corners of your feet so that at the same time, not only are you twisting your spine, but you're lengthening the hamstrings. Come on back to center. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So we're going to start in the same position, arms up, twist, left hand to the outside of the right knee, right cupcake hand behind you, twist to look over the right shoulder, and notice if the side is different than the other side. I feel like I can twist deeper into this side today than I was able to my left. But I don't know that that's true. It might just be how I'm feeling, or maybe it's how I slept. But I feel like I'm going deeper and I'm moving my shoulder blade more into the center of my back on this side. Okay, come on back to center. So, I thought my bathing suit top is creeping down. I thought what we would do is round out our practice today with some breath work. So, rather than lie on your back, just find a comfortable seated position, whatever that is for you. You might come into an easy cross-legged. You might like to sit side to side like I am. Maybe just having your legs out long in front of you or keeping them wide-legged is what's best. Whatever feels best. So we're going to just do a really easy breath. I believe we did it like weeks ago. Close your eyes. And I've been telling you all along, yoga, we breathe in and out through our nose. That's an important part of this breath. If you're not comfortable doing that, you're going to have a little bit of a hard time. So what you're going to do is you're going to take one deep inhale. I'm sorry, you guys, I forgot to put my phone on airplane mode and my phone rang and that stops the video. So I'm going to pick up where I left off. So you are sitting in a comfortable position and we're going to do a little bit of breath work. You are going to start by taking a deep inhale through the nose, right? And then exhaling it slowly back out of your nose, trying to make the exhale longer than the inhale. And we're going to do that again. Inhale through the nose. And exhale. One more time. Just noticing how calming that is on your system, just to consciously breathe, even if it's just 2 or 3 deep breaths. So now we're going to jazz that up a little bit. Instead of doing 1 inhale, we're going to do 3 quick inhales. It may almost be like a snort, but it's okay. It's yoga. Just don't worry about it. Let it go. So it's gonna sound like this. I'm a little congested. My allergies are flaring a little bit, but it's 3 inhales. And then your long exhale. Okay, so you can close your eyes and do that if that makes you more comfortable. But 3 inhales, 1 long exhale. Okay, and we're gonna do this for maybe a minute. So just get comfortable and find a little bit of rhythm, and notice after the first couple breaths that it becomes a little less effortless and a little less ridiculous. And you just start to do it a little more naturally. Okay, so close your eyes and start. 3 quick breaths, 1 long inhale. One or 2 more. And we're just going to sit with our hands resting on our knees, eyes closed, breathing consciously in and out through the nose, but just allowing the breath to be a little more organic and a little more natural. We're going to end a little bit differently today than we normally do. We're going to end with the sound of Om. Om, if you're not sure, is chanted in a lot of yoga classes at the end of class, and it is thought to be the sound of all the noises in the universe. If they were to all mix together into one sound and travel heavenward, it would be the sound of Om. And there's no religious connotation behind it, at least for me there's not. I have a faith, and yoga is not my faith. Yoga is just something I practice and I love. You can either join in, or you can just listen, or you can you know, giggle. But it's just the thought of all the sounds in the universe coming together and creating this one beautiful harmonizing noise. It's not going to be so beautiful and harmonizing with me doing it because I can't sing and I very well might be tone deaf. But we're going to end with the sound of Om today. So we're going to bring our hands to our heart in prayer, press our palms together, take a nice deep breath in, exhale the breath, one more inhale, and then on the exhale, we'll release the sound, okay? So inhale. Namaste. Thank you guys. As always, I hope this was what you needed today. Being with you and getting to teach even during this crazy time is always what I need. So I'm super thankful for your support as always, and that you choose to join me for a class or two every week or every once in a while. I appreciate it. So thank you. Have a great rest of the day. It's really nice outside, and have a great weekend, and happy Father's Day. If there are any dads doing this, I certainly wish you a really good day. I hope you feel loved and special, and maybe you don't have to cut the lawn or cook or something. I don't know. But have a great weekend, you guys, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.